Today, we're going to give you a run through of our latest concept and design, our Work and Play Pro Series. Over the last 18 months, we've gone through a whole lot of research and development and innovation to bring this product to you. You know, what's different about it? What have we changed? Is there anything that's still the same? Today, we're going to go through that in detail and give you guys a bit of an understanding of what we've done to be innovative in the Australian tray market. So part of the whole process when we've gone to the Pro Series is we've actually been 3D scanning the rear of these vehicles and modelling to suit. So that way we can maximise on toolbox space, make sure there's clearance for exhaust. So the big 79 is probably one of the ones that really caters for. You know, a lot of the guys are running big 4-inch twin exhausts, so we need to make sure that we're clearance of the boxes and things like that. There's different variations of exhaust, so we've done the best that we can to work with every make and model of exhaust on the market. Starting at the front, we've got our headboard design here. So we haven't changed anything in this. You've still got your relocated filler points, you've still got your 50-litre headboard water tank, your inspection panels on the front, 24 pieces in this thing, over 4.5 hours of welding in this. It isn't your generic rolled tube or mitered extrusion. This is a full sheet metal product, and it takes hours of labours to get this type of design and that smooth finish and transition into your canopy. Down the front here, we've still got our infill panels. So this whole front section has stayed the same. You'll notice along the side here, there's some cleaner lines. There's no more holes in the side. We've gone to an extrusion tray deck rather than a sheet metal form tray deck. And the reason behind that is it makes it more unique to us, but also we can keep the weight down a little bit more. So this new tray series is a little bit lighter. We can get more functionality and features in it, which really create a no drill system, which is what we're going with this whole concept and design. You'll notice here that the mudguards look to be a little bit different. So, you know, we haven't changed how we manufacture a guard. The process is still very much the same, but what we've done is we've changed the angles. So the angles work a little bit nicer. So how do they go with tray sides? They don't clash. With your vehicles with a larger wheelbase, you can actually drive the guard out that little bit further. It's matching in with a lot of the front flares on a lot of the cars as well. So it's that little bit of extra detail that we're going to. And they've still got the 40mm of adjustment in here. You can actually get a little bit more out of these ones, and that's due to the track system that runs underneath the actual trade hop. You know, that's just a small bit of detail that we've gone to in just a mudguard. So that's one component of the entire system. You'll notice at the back here that the toolboxes, they look a little bit different. So they're a little bit deeper. The rear end of the tray has actually got a little bit more depth to it. And you'll notice a big thing here that we've actually changed the orientation of the locks. So there's a few reasons why we've done that. We've found through our research and design and development and using the product and feedback from customers, you know, we've found an even better way to get these toolboxes to seal. So we've been working really hard on that one over the last 8 months. That's not me saying that we had a problem with how they sealed before, but again, innovation, we always want to be better, and we're just putting all our time and effort into creating a better product for you, the customer. Still running the same mud flap. We've still got our tap here at the back. Still running the same type of tail light, which is the 355 series. We get asked that one all the time. They come in clear, they come in black. It's kind of the most popular light on the market right now, and it's kind of what you get is what you get. We'll go into the toolbox. So, you know, like I said before, the locks have changed. So I just want to demonstrate to you guys the type of seal that we're getting on these boxes. So normally we'd unlock the toolbox and the toolbox would fall. These are going under a vacuum. So you'll notice then that it took a few seconds before it actually dropped, where an older style toolbox would drop straight away in your hand. So if I unlock this now, I've actually got to pull it to open. So that's where it's pressure locking inside that when we're actually closing it. When you're closing it and you're doing the locks up, you can actually feel it push the air out of the toolbox. So that next level on how the seal, you'll notice that the seal still runs the same, because over the time that we've been doing these things, we've got it down packed that it runs nice and neatly. There's no bunches in the actual rubber seal. You'll notice on the inside here, we've still got the compressor availability to fit in there, so it doesn't need to be an ARB, it can be a TJM or ARB, whatever it may be. Whatever you've got in those two realms, we can make fit in here. You can fit air tanks in these things if you want to, if you're running the bigger tires and you just need to give that compressor a bit of a rest. We do recommend going to like a 4-litre tank. They can be fitted inside the toolbox, so they can also be fitted under the tray as well with the way that we've built things. So, you know, that's a small part of the overall piece. You'll notice here the tray sides, they haven't changed at all. The only thing is we've given you, the customer, a better chance and ability to change your setup in the future. So previously along the side here, the tray side hardware would be drilled into the tray deck itself. So what would happen is, you know, I've got a tray only right now, but I want to order a 1250 canopy in a few months' time. What you would do is you'd ring and you'd order the canopy, and then we'd have to stick an additional hinge here to actually hold that tray side. Or, you know, if you've got a meter box, it's again a longer side, so it's getting another drill point into that tray to take that hardware. With this track system on the outside, you can easily undo the bolt and you can move it to where you need it to go. So you're not actually, if your circumstances change, you're not turning your tray top into Swiss cheese, which in my opinion, you know, we're not the cheapest in the market and we never claim to be, but drilling into a product that is as finished and it's expensive, let's be real, I get a little bit upset with myself if I'm drilling into my tray that I've spent my hard-earned money for. So why not have a system that takes that away? On top here, you'll see our track system on top. This is actually part of the formed extrusion. When this goes to the extrusion company in Australia to be manufactured, the extrusion is pushed through the die. It then goes across and is machined at the same place. So all manufactured in Australia, and it's actually machined with these hole centers ready to go for the tray top. So what it does is it comes back to us, we then dock it down and we form and build the tray that you see here in front of me. You know, over time, we've obviously used these products, we've taken the feedback, like I've said before, from the customer around a few things. So, you know, one of the pet hates for myself is whenever you would put a load in the back of the tray and the load was either just smaller than the tray side or even lower, when you're putting your straps through, you're actually not touching the product you try to tie down, or you're bowing your tray sides. So one of the biggest things for me was, let's get a system that's on the inside, that's already there and part of that extrusion, so we get good strength, lightweight, durability, things like that. And then you can actually tie over the small load that you've got in there. Or if you've got motorbikes and you want to tie them down, then you can get that track or this mount that's super simple to take out and put it where you need it to be. You know, you push down on it over the holes and it'll click into place, just as simple as that. Then you've got your lashing tie down here, so you can put rope on this. You can use big 50mm buckles for a truck. You can use your cheap ones you get from Bunnings on the weekend and stuff like that. You're not limited to one type of strap or fixing method. You'll notice here there's another one which is more generic than what you see probably everywhere else. These are definitely what you get with what you buy at BCF or Supercheap or places like that. So these click into place. It's pretty straight and forward and simple. It's got one lashing point, goes in, sits over the top and stays there. You notice this one here, it's actually a threaded bolt. So that's what we use to bolt the canopies down. So this is where the system comes into play on its own. It is in a league of its own. If you want to move your canopy to where it needs to be for you, for hunting or on the weekend, whatever it may be, in a truck, if you want to move your canopy back because your Can-Am weighs more than your canopy, you've got the ability to do that. It's as simple as this. You undo the bolt, you slip it up, you slide it out, drop it in where it needs to go. You do the bolt back up, off you go. That simple. So usability, functionality, you know, for us, there's no secret. It looks good. It's always got to look good, okay? But it's got to be function, form, fit. So it's unique. There's nothing like it on the market. It's not pot riveted on. It's not welded on later. This is formed and then machined. So this is built purposely for this type of application. Underneath here in the center, we've got our own extrusion that runs left to right across the vehicle. That is, again, purpose built for our products. There's some channels in there. What that does is it picks up our cross members, it picks up our toolboxes, it picks up our tray mounts underneath, so all that usability space. One more thing that I really want to touch on with our tray decks. So the tops are now actually removable. If you're someone out there and you're really wanting to fit, you know, your vehicle out and you've got like suspension mods or air tanks, or, you know, you want to try and fit a battery under there, good luck to you. It's pretty tight for space. But, you know, like simple things like that, or, you know, you want to try and hide a level under there. That's one thing that we really get asked about all the time is there a level box or something that we can put in there or whatever it may be. You can easily remove the screws that hold it down, peel it up, and you can actually get in and access the top of the tray. I'll bring one out very shortly and give you guys a bit of a demo on what I mean by that. So, you know, the system where we keep saying it's a no drill system, it simply is that. It's already done. The pieces can move where you need them to. So it gives you that ultimate flexibility, and that's what we've always been about. Being able to have your canopy work the way that you need it to work it. If you need it to be a dog box, it's still the same canopy with a few minor changes. It's not buy once, buy again, keep buying. It's you know, spend your hard-earned money the right way. Spend it on a GWorks product and get the ultimate usability. Multiple vehicle flat transfers. Everything we've done from the get-go is all applicable in this. All the things underneath this tray deck, unbolt, they can move to where you need it to go. It's that simple. So another key feature with the track system we've got on top here, all the fixings that actually go into them, and you may notice if you're a frequent flyer on the plains, this is the similar track that actually bolts your seats to the ground in your airplane. So these things come load rated. So the point of fixings that go into these things have a load rating on them, which is really, really good. So again, guys, we have had this purpose built for us. It's designed by us for the end user, which is you. So a couple of really big things is it's manufactured in Australia, or it's made in Australia, it's manufactured in Australia, and the system that we've gone to allows it to be a faster manufacturing piece for us. So that means that we can get it to you faster. So that's enough about the tray top now, but let's have a little bit of a look at the rear end and talk about what we've changed. So you'll notice the tail lights look the same, the trundle face looks the same. It pretty well looks the same, yes, but what we've done is we've added a little bit of depth to it. So being able to see the chassis, the mounts, and all those things underneath really takes away from the aesthetics that we're trying to put into these cars here at GWorks. It's about it being a finished product, it looking sleek, there's no mismatched bits underneath, it's not a one-size toolbox fits all. These are configured toolboxes to every individual vehicle. Let's talk about the fundamentals of what makes a good tray, and it always starts with the mounting system. So here's one I prepared earlier. So this is our backbone mounting system. So this is a one piece per side tray mount. We've been trialing these things for the last 18 months with a 0 failure rate. So it's one piece per side, it's 6mm steel. So 3 points of contact to that chassis underneath. It bolts to your subframe of the tray. And what it does is it disperses the load evenly across the rear of the vehicle. We talked a little bit before about faster to manufacture. These mounts make it faster to install. So these mounts mean that the downtime for you without your vehicle is much faster. So does this mount fit every car? No, they're vehicle specific, just the same as our toolboxes. So, you know, there's around 5mm of adjustment on the rear of the vehicles when these things land. So, you know, it's a quicker install, it's a stronger mounting method. Look, I could talk to you guys about this one for hours on end, but, you know, this is the GWorks difference. This is what we talk about when we talk about innovation with our products. This is what we talk about when we go to different lengths for design. There is nothing like this tray deck on the market. There is nothing like these mounts on the market. You know, we're going that extra mile to give you guys the best value for your money. So I think we've spent enough time looking at the finished product. What I'm going to do is bring one over to you guys and give you a bit of a look at how they go through the assembly product. I've got one just behind me that's almost ready for installation. All right, so you can see this one here. This is actually for an American pickup. So it's for a 2500 Ram. It could be for a 2500 Chevy. It could be for an F250. This is the general size that we put on those, even the 350s. 3500s, this is the kind of size that you'd be going for. You can see here, this one's actually about 70% ready for installation. So at 70%, what's it got in it? Well, your subframe's mounted to your headboard. I've already got the water tank in the front and the fillers are currently going in. The next stage for this is actually to have its mounts put on and then we sit the tray deck in. So it's pretty simple. Depending on if it's being installed with us or it's being installed in one of our installer networks or dealers, we'll actually stick the tray deck down. If we do it here in store with GWorks, we actually put the tray deck in last, and that's so we can get underneath the car and you know, work above the car instead of below the car. So, you know, it's a much quicker installation in that side of things. So you can see here, you got your subframe, you know, it's an extrusion, it's not sheet metal. You can't stick your fingers in here and do whatever. So it's lighter, it's stronger, like we've touched on before, but it's that simple, guys. So I do want to talk about our fillers. So, you know, there's 1,001 different fillers on the market. And here at GWorks, we found a product that we thought was really good to work with. Aesthetically, it looked good, but it wasn't quite fit for purpose. And these are the things that I keep talking about, that we go to that extra mile. So we found a product, it wasn't fit for the needs that we found for Australian conditions. So what I mean by that, it needed additional seals. We needed to get it to step down to a certain millimeter diameter so it could actually fit most of the fuel hoses that are available on all the different vehicles. So, you know, the most common size that you get is like a 38mm hose size. Even your American trucks, they take the same size hose. It's usually just the 79s that take a slightly bigger one. So what we had, if we've had it machined a little bit differently, you can see here we've got GWorks keys, a little bit of extra detail there. But you'll notice here, it's got a bit of a red cap in the back of it. Okay, you can see that there's a seal here and there's also one there on the front face. So what that does is it seals against dust. It seals against sand, dirt, getting into the top of that actual filler neck. So there's 2 points of contact for seals inside of this actual cap. Now, the red cap on the inside, which you've seen before, indicates that that's a non-breathing cap. So these actually breathe out of the keyhole, believe it or not. If it was a green cap, it would actually seep water bubbles out of the inside of that key area. So, you know, it's a bit strange. When we first worked with the product, we were like, oh, okay, that's something different. But, you know, again, it's purpose built, it's modified to suit the GWorks product. This is not something you can just get off the shelf tomorrow. It's the GWorks difference of what we go to in our products. It's not just a slap together product. It's not, you know, powder coated half on the outside, nothing on the inside. You know, it's not a raw finished product. We go that extra mile at every point we possibly can for you guys. You know, I've talked about it being stronger and lighter and easier to manufacture, and you know, it's really led on to something that you've probably seen snippets of by now, which is our expedition trucks. We've manufactured a product that we can stand behind and know confidently that it is going to withstand what it needs to on the back of the expedition trucks. So we've been working behind the scenes with the crew at ATW around getting these things dialed for the rear of those expedition trucks, because let's face it guys, they are the specialists when it comes to working on these vehicles. The limitations of sheet metal, which is one of the reasons that we've gone away from the standard design that we first originally developed, is a few things. So, you know, you're limited with the size of sheet that you can work with versus what your tooling allows. So that's your press brakes or even your laser cutters. So for us, we've got a 3 meter by 1.5 meter bed laser cutter. You know, when you're working on a expedition truck, for example, that's over that 3 meter, or 2.4 is probably the better example to use, you start actually needing to join sheets to make the product that we used to make. So what that means is it requires a really big table to work on. It's not easy for the team to be able to maneuver it around the workshop. It's really, really difficult to manufacture. It takes 2 people at the press to press it. You know, it's just really, really slow in how it's manufactured. You know, the turnaround time for a tray, just on the fabrication side of things, is over a week. That's a week that one team member has spent building that tray top, because you've got to make sure it's square and you've got multiple pieces that you're kind of trying to join that can move easily with the heat of aluminium welding. So, you know, these we can basically dock it to length. So if you wanted a 3.5 meter tray on the back of your expedition truck, no worries. If you've got a single cab Ram and you want to put a 2.7 meter tray on the back, no worries. If you've got an F450 like Kale from EC Off-Road, and I'm sure you guys have seen that one by now because it has absolutely blown the internet up after the Brisbane 4x4 show this year, that is another prime example of why we have developed this system, or founded and developed this system for ease of manufacturing, for ease of use for the customer. Like I keep saying, there's nothing like it on the market. We spent hours and hours and hours going through what we needed to do to get this right. We even 3D printed one to test fit the fittings on the inside to make sure that we had the tolerances right. You know, it's minor little details like that that, you know, you don't really see in the public eye. You know, we don't exactly leave our design office locked, but you know, we incorporate all the feedback from our team around fitting these products, about using them, you know, take the feedback from the customer around how they've used them and what they think could be different, or, you know, what they see as an issue in their day-to-day life using the product. So we've taken all that on board, and that's where the Pro Series has come from, because, you know, it's professionals that are using them. So whether it be, you know, us, whether it be a full-time person on the road that's traveling, you know, whether it be a tradie background that's using this car, doesn't matter what it is, we've covered those bases with this new design. So I'm really, really excited, guys. It's taken a long time to get here. I think about now we're actually hitting that 2-year mark to the date of this video, which is, you know, it's a huge time in manufacturing world, but we've really polished it down. I can't wait to really step you guys through the truck builds. That's a whole new market for us that we're really, really excited to get into. I've had my truck now for over 4 months, and I wish I got one sooner because I absolutely love it. So, you know, the guys up at ATW, like I keep saying, they are the industry leaders when it comes to modifying these trucks, the knowledge about these trucks. You know, Chris and Nick and even Stuart in the sales office, they are so knowledgeable when it comes to working on these trucks, and we are super excited to be teaming up with them to be able to offer trays to the back of these vehicles. So, you know, now whether it's a dual cab, whether it's an extra cab, whether it's a single cab, whether it's a single cab truck, whether it's a single cab USA build, quad cab, mega cab, whatever you want to call it, we can get you covered with this new tray design. So super excited to see this one out in the wild. There's a few floating around now that we've actually manufactured and put out into the world. And you know, it's just another clean look. It's just that next level on detail for us to really give you guys the best manufactured product in Australia that is backed by an extended warranty, because here at GWorks, we back the products that we build for you. So if you're looking for a GWorks product for the rear of your vehicle, whether it be a dual cab, an American vehicle, or a truck, if you want to get your hands on a GWorks Work and Play Pro, give us a call today and we can help you out.